What is going on, Alabama fans? We have finally got the news that we have been waiting for a few days at this point now. The breaking news here of Sunday afternoon. Kalen DeBoer has finally released a statement saying that he will stay at Alabama as their head coach for the future here, and his sole focus is here with the Crimson Tide. This is the full statement here from Kalen DeBoer that he just released about an hour or so ago. We were wrapping up our Bengals watch party, and Kalen DeBoer ends up putting this statement out on social media saying, "My family and I are very happy in Tuscaloosa and remain extremely grateful for the support of Alabama President Mohler, Athletic Director Greg Byrne, the board, and so many others. We have an incredible opportunity in front of us, so my sole focus is on Alabama football and our preparation to play Oklahoma in the college football playoffs. I have not spoken and have had no interest in speaking with anyone else about any other job," talking about that Michigan job. "I am fully committed to this program and look forward to continuing as the head football coach at the University of Alabama. We are proud to have Kalen DeBoer." This is from Greg Byrne, by the way. He kind of quote tweeted this, and this was what Greg Byrne said. "We are proud to have Kalen DeBoer leading our football program at the University of Alabama. He is an incredible coach and does an excellent job with the development of our student athletes, both on and off the field. Just as he is committed to the team, we are committed to him, and we look forward to taking the field Friday in the first round of the college football playoffs. #Roll Tide." You can find both of those comments on Twitter. This excites the hell out of me that we can finally just focus on this Oklahoma game and a run inside the college football playoffs. If you guys are as excited as I am about this news today, make sure, if you're watching on mobile right now and you are just as excited about this news that Kalen DeBoer is staying with Alabama and all this buzz around the Michigan head coaching job is finally behind us. If you're watching on mobile, go down to where it says comments, scroll to the right, and hit that hype button. All right, so we showed you guys this the other day. Kalen DeBoer in his first 2 years at Alabama, 19-7. A lot of people look at that and they kind of scoff at that. They kind of think that that is, not up to the standard, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure you probably heard Damian Harris's comments about this Oklahoma game being, Kalen DeBoer's job on the line for that. Kind of always thought that was BS at that point. Look, college football is not the same as it has been, especially back in the Nick Saban era. Kalen DeBoer, back his first 2 seasons, back-to-back years with top 5 recruiting classes according to the 247 Sport Composite rankings. And by the way, that first recruiting class for Kalen DeBoer, he had like half the year to build those relationships and go out and find these guys and get them on campus. So just the fact that you had a top 5 recruiting class in that first year was incredible in its own right. And now as you look to that 2027 class, you are finally starting to build something here. And yes, it is going to take a little bit of time to, get to a place where I think a lot of people can really look at and be excited about. But right now you should still be excited anyways. In year 2, you make it to the SEC championship game. Sure, you lost, but look back. Nick Saban made it to the SEC championship game in his second year and ended up losing. You also made it to now the college football playoffs in your second year. I think that should have been the goal, just making it to the college football playoffs. Now, do you want to go on a run in the playoffs? Yes, absolutely you do. But still, you've made it there. And I think a lot of people should be more excited about that. And I think the large majority of Alabama fans are. I think there is a small vocal minority that really get a lot of buzz on social media when it comes to Kalen DeBoer here at Alabama. Look, the rumors really started to swirl last week when Michigan ended up firing Sharon Moore on threes. Pete Nakos immediately puts Kalen DeBoer on a hot board as the number 1 candidate for that Michigan head coaching job. And, it felt a little bit more real than the Penn State, rumors that we were hearing, because those weren't even rumors. That was a lot of hopium there. Kalen DeBoer had interest in the Michigan job when he was still at Washington, and I didn't even realize this until this past weekend. Ryan Grubb's wife, I believe, also is a Michigan girl as well. So, if Kalen DeBoer were to go to Michigan, Ryan Grubb probably would have, followed him there as well. Maybe there was some, conversations there. I'm not quite sure. Maybe even Ryan Grubb finds his way onto that Michigan hot board. But as of right now, Kalen DeBoer officially sticking with Alabama. So what is your confidence level in Kalen DeBoer as Alabama's head coach? Let me know what you guys think. Scale it for me 1 to 10 down at the pinned comment of today's video. Personally, myself, I'm very confident in Kalen DeBoer. Despite all the loud, obnoxious people out there saying that, they're not living up to the standard, he's soft, yada, yada, yada. I think you have seen that he is able to recruit in the South, something that, a lot of people said he wasn't going to be able to do. You look at the improvement from year 1 to year 2, and yes, there is improvement there, despite what a lot of people want to say. You look at the recruiting, you look at that, you look to the fact that, yes, you are now in the college football playoffs, and I imagine Kalen DeBoer is going to win an SEC championship at Alabama, and I imagine, yes, he is probably also going to have a good shot of winning a national championship here at Alabama as well. The thing that I'm most excited about is the fact that we can finally put all of these coaching rumors behind us at this point. First, it was Penn State. Then it was Michigan. The Penn State rumors really popped up right before that first Oklahoma game. And then now you're playing Oklahoma again in the college football playoffs. And then all of a sudden these Michigan rumors start yet again, which really, the only big thing that came out was that On3 hot board. That Pete Nikos ended up putting out with Kalen DeBoer being that number 1 candidate there. There was also a report put out earlier this morning, I believe it was, that Michigan had reached out to 2 head coaches so far. One was Kenny Dillingham, and one was Eli Drinkowitz. No Kalen DeBoer on that list there. So I am just glad that, it's on Sunday now. We can at least get a full week of, the players knowing for a fact that Kalen DeBoer is going to be their head coach of the future. All right, we'll continue breaking this down here in just a second. But first, we want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's show. That's PrizePicks. It's the holiday season right now, best time of the year for sports. You have bowl games already started, by the way. Basketball matchups happening. You have playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every single day, what gifts to buy around the holiday season, which bowl games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is on PrizePicks. One of my favorite features about PrizePicks is how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. But if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. But no matter how you play, PrizePicks is a great way to put your takes to the test. This is what we got cooked up for the Sunday night games tonight. Going with Dak Prescott, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Also, going with J.J. McCarthy. Boo, Michigan. Boo, Michigan. Number 9. Going with more than a half interception for him. Look, the Dallas defense isn't very good, to be completely honest with you guys. But, look, it's perfect. It's perfect to go with these Michigan rumors, and you have J.J. McCarthy in there. Let's go with a more than half interception for him as well. PrizePicks is super simple to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in today. Get in on the action. PrizePicks is now available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and yes, PrizePicks is available in the state of Alabama as well. So download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link, by the way, down in the comment section and the description of today's show. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Now, along with Kalen DeBoer and Greg Byrne putting their statements out on social media, you now have On3's Pete Nikos and Chris Lowe, really the guy that matters in my opinion, Chris Lowe, are now reporting that Kalen DeBoer and Alabama are in, conversations to have a contract extension set up. Now, with that, nothing has actually been agreed upon quite yet, but they are starting to have these conversations right now. And, I talked about, what I thought about, Alabama giving Kalen DeBoer a contract extension to end up keeping him here. But look, this is the route they're going down. His current contract that he signed after or when he was first hired here at Alabama, 8 years, runs through 2031, averaging over $10 million, almost $11 million per year there. And I think this is an interesting point as well. Every single year, that contract number increases by $250,000 until you get to the final year of his deal, where it ends up being 11.75. Now, I did say that, while I think Kalen DeBoer has had a good start here at Alabama, I didn't necessarily think a contract extension was warranted at this point right now. Yes, you've made it to the college football playoffs now. That's great. Yeah, you made it to the SEC championship game. That's great. But you haven't won it yet. You haven't won a national championship, which I don't really expect that anyways. You're doing a good job recruiting. But, personally, I thought it was a little bit too soon. Either way, it doesn't matter what I think. Greg Byrne and Kalen DeBoer now at least have started, the conversations here to, have a contract extension. But like that report said, nothing has yet been agreed upon. So let me know what you guys think. I do think this is a fair question. I think it's interesting to talk about here. Would you give Kalen DeBoer a contract extension? Let me know what you guys think. Type Y for yes or N for no. Personally, I say no. I think Kalen DeBoer should just want to be here at Alabama. But look, if you believe in the guy and you think he is the guy, yeah, I think both answers are fair there. So let me know what you guys think down below. Now, I do wonder if the outcome of this Oklahoma game, and if you beat Oklahoma / how far you go in this college football playoff run, if that's going to end up determining the length and amount that this contract extension is going to end up being here. Because the reporting as of right now is that they are in talks, but nothing has actually been agreed upon yet. And it's going to be a tough run if Alabama can make a run. Hopefully they're getting a little bit healthy here, but you got to go to Norman, Oklahoma. We all remember, what happened last year in Norman, and there's been a couple teams so far this year that had some calls going against them when they went to Oklahoma. If you end up winning that game, then you have to go to Pasadena, all the way out there in California, and, play Indiana, the number one team in the country right now, and they have the Heisman Trophy winner there in Fernando Mendoza. By the way, their offense gets talked about a lot, that being Indiana. Their defense is actually really, really good as well. But when it comes to this Oklahoma game, I am just glad that we can finally put all these Kalen DeBoer, going to Penn State, going to Michigan, all these different rumors about him going here or there, whatever, to bed at this point. There should be no excuse whatever happens when you go to Norman, Oklahoma on Friday for the first round of the college football playoffs, because it's not like this news ended up coming out on Wednesday or on Thursday and you got all week long. The players are, trying to go through practice, but in the back of their head, they're thinking, is Kalen DeBoer going to be our head coach for the future here? You've got an entire week to really just hone in and focus on this Oklahoma game. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We will be live, by the way, for that Oklahoma game, and if they end up winning that game, we'll be live for the entirety of the college football playoffs as long as Alabama is in it. So do not miss out. Join the community here at the Alabama Football Report and hit that sub button.